Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtakayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashiki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Bangam Langayate Girim Yatkrapatamaham Vande Shri Guru Nadina Taranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya निगम कल्पतरोर गलितं फलं सुक्मुखाद अमृतद्रव संयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुका हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. So today we are going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 2. Shloka will be third shloka onwards. I'll share the screen. I hope my screen is visible to everyone. एतत् आख्याहि मे ब्रह्मन् जामातुः स्वसुरस्य च विद्वेषस्तु यतः प्राणां त्यजेति दुस्तजान् सति. Synonyms translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada. Etad, thus, Akhyahi, please tell, to me, Brahman, O Brahma, Jamatuh, of the son-in-law, Lord Shiva, Swasurasya, of the father-in-law, Daksha, Cha, and Vidveshaha, quarrel, to, as to, Yata, from what cause, Pranan, her life, Tatyaje, gave up, Dustajan, which is impossible to give up, Sati. Translation: my dear Matre, to part with one's life is very difficult. Would you kindly explain to me how such a son-in-law and father-in-law could quarrel so bitterly that the great goddess Sati could give up her life? We are seeing that this is a conversation happening between Maitreya Muni and Vidura. And Vidura is now inquiring, after hearing about the genealogical order of Manus, right? Now he is asking about this great pastime wherein Daksha was punished by Lord Shiva. Sati gave her life. So this is the incidents which gave rise. So Vidura is asking that what happened? What was the cause which get to such an extent that Sati had to give up her life? So in the next slokas, we'll see what Daksha did. I'll take this sloka. Maitreya vacha pura vishvashajam satre sameta paramarshaya tatamargarna sarve sanuga munayognyah. Maitreya vacha pura vishvashajam satre sameta paramrishya तथा मर गणाः सर्वे सानुगा मुनयो अग्नयः. मैत्रेय उवाच पुरा विश्वसृजां सत्रे समेताः परं ऋषयः तथा मर्गणाः सर्वे सानुगा मुनयो अग्नयः. Synonyms translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. known as Maitri Vacha. The sage Maitri said, Pura, formerly, at the time of Swayambhu Manu, Vishwashajam of the creators of the universe, Satre at a sacrifice, Samitaha were assembled, Parama Rishayaha, the great sages, Tatha and also Amara Ganaha, the demigods, Sarve, all, Sa Anugaha, along with their followers, Munayaha, the philosophers, Agneha, the fire gods. Translation. The sage Maitreya said, in a former time, the leaders of the universal creation performed a great sacrifice in which all the great sages, philosophers, demigods, and fire gods assembled with their followers. Purport. Upon being asked by Vidura, the sage Maitreya began to explain the cause of the misunderstanding between Lord Shiva and Daksha, because of which the goddess Sati gave up her body. Thus begins the history of a great sacrifice performed by the leaders of the universal creation, namely Marichi, Daksh, and Vashishta. These great personalities arranged for a great sacrifice, for which demigods like Indra and the fire gods assembled with their followers. Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva were also present. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chachuramiltamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapad Shri Guruna Vaishnavancham Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagan Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prem Pidayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaurat Vishe Namaha He Krishna Karana Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubheshikpa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So very, very glorious pastime which is happening here. I think many of us or all of us must have heard about it, but it is always good to hear such pastimes again and again. There are many learnings and these pastimes give us some great insights. What is happening here? That Daksha has organized a yajna. And in that yajna, he has invited all the demigods, all the learned philosophers, sages, along with whom? Two eminent personalities. Who are those two eminent personalities? One is his father, Lord Brahma, and another is his son-in-law, Lord Shiva. If we see, both are very, very honorable positions. Father is anyways one who has to be respected in all respect. And then son-in-law also holds a very respectable situation. He is also to be praised in every situation. He is also to be prayed in every situation, as per our Shastras. Now, in this situation here, what has happened? Maitreya Muni is explaining that there held some confusion. And what was the reason of that confusion? Because Daksha, who was the Prajapati, who was the Manu at that time, what he thought, that he is supreme, or he is the great personality, and he didn't even consider Lord Shiva a person whom he should give respect, even if he was his son-in-law. So I will go through the translations of further shlokas, and then we'll come to the essence of it. When Daksha, the leader of Prajapatis, entered that assembly, his personal bodily luster as bright as the effulgence of sun, the entire assembly was illuminated, and all the assembled personalities became insignificant in his presence. So that was the what do you call, the luster of his body, right? So he was so well built, and he was a worshipper of Lord Vishnu. He was a very good, you can say, he used to pray Lord Vishnu, and he was a very good, great follower of Lord Vishnu. And his bodily luster was so bright that because he was the king, he was leader of Prajapati, he was supreme at that time. When you see from the material perspective, he was whole soul, right? So his appearance was like that. It is always, when we see any movie or any, we read any Shastra or something, entry of hero is always like that. They are praised, they are like when they are even brought on the screen, it is all like focused and everything. So similar thing is happening here. So when Daksha entered, his presence was felt by everyone. And what was there? Influenced by his personal bodily luster, all the fire gods and other participants in that great assembly, with the exception of Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, gave up their own sitting places and stood in respect of Daksha. So everybody who was there, they stood up from their places, they paid their obeisances, or they greeted Daksha. But the two, the father and the son-in-law, they sat as usual. They didn't greeted him because they were higher in position from Daksha. So they just maintained their position and they were sitting. So as far as Lord Brahma is there, it was okay. But since Lord Shiva didn't get up, so that was the problem which Daksha felt. Daksha was adequately welcomed by the president of the great assembly, Lord Brahma. After offering Lord Brahma respect, Daksha, by the order of Brahma, properly took his seat. So basically, we see that when Daksha entered, though no greetings were paid, but even Brahma welcomed Daksha, and Daksha was asked to take a seat, take his seat, which was his prestigious place. But what happens with a proud person happened here. Before taking his seat, however, Daksha was very much offended to see Lord Shiva sitting and not showing him any respect. At that time, Daksha became greatly angry, and his eyes glowing, he began to speak very strongly against Lord Shiva. Prabhupada writes in his purport, Lord Shiva, being the son-in-law of Daksha, was expected to show his father-in-law respect by standing with others. But because Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are the principal demigods, their positions are greater than Daksha's. Daksha, however, could not tolerate this, and he took it as an insult by his son-in-law. Previously also, he was not very much satisfied with Lord Shiva, for Shiva looked very poor and was niggardly in this. So basically, Daksha was not satisfied by giving his daughter to Lord Shiva. Because in eyes of Lord Shiva, it appears that Lord Shiva is poor, or my bodily features are not good. He doesn't have any opulence. So that was what Daksha always felt about Lord Shiva. All sages, brahmanas, and fire gods present, please hear me with great attention. This is this is Daksha. He started saying angrily, "For I speak about the manners of gentle persons. I do not speak out of ignorance or envy." So he is pretending as nothing has happened, and he doesn't have any proud envy or ignorance. He is just speaking a fact because he is Prajapati, so he thinks that everyone is below him. So he tactfully said this, and he started challenging or speaking about Lord Shiva. And he took specifically the name of Shiva and started saying. So these are important shlokas from shloka 4.2.10 to shloka 4.2.16. These are 7 shlokas in which, from one aspect, we see that Daksha is blaspheming Lord Shiva. So we'll see that in what way Daksha is blaspheming Shiva. But at the same time, what our acharyas say about such blasphemy is also to be seen. In this purport, Prabhupada has mentioned few things, but going forward, it is more or less silent, but we will see that what is the importance there. So I'll share this screen again, and I will just, because there are a few words which are to be looked into. Ayam tu lokpalanam yashogno nirpatrapaha sadbhiracharitah pantayen stabden dushitah. So here what Daksha is saying, Shiva has spoiled the name and fame of the governors of the universe and has polluted the path of gentle manners. Because he is shameless, he does not know how to act. We'll go to the purport later. I'm just reading the translations so that we'll move. Esh me shishyatam prapto yan me duhitur grahit panim vipragni muktah savitraya ev sadhuvata. He has already accepted himself as my subordinate by marrying my daughter in the presence of fire and brahmanas. He has married my daughter, who is equal to Gayatri, and has pretended to be just like an honest person. Graitva mrakshavaksaya panim markat lochana pratyutthanabhe vadarhi vachapyakrita nochitam. He has eyes like a monkey, yet he has married my daughter, whose eyes are just like those of a deer cub. Nevertheless, he did not stand up to receive me, nor did he think it fit to welcome me with sweet words. Lupta kriyaya shuchaye manine vinnasetave anikchan apyadam balam shudraye voshatim giram. I had no desire to give my daughter to this person who has broken all the rules of civility. Because of not observing the required rules and regulations, he is impure. But I was obliged to hand over my daughter to him, just as one teaches the message of Vedas to a Sudra. Pretavaseshu ghoreshu pretair bhutgain vrataha atatyunna matta vanagnoho vyukta kesho hasan rudan chitabhasma krit snana pretastra pretasran nrasti bhushanaha sivapadesho ya shivo matto matta janapriyaha pate pramathanathanam tamo matratmakatmanam. He lives in the filthy places like crematoriums, and his companions are the ghosts and demons. Naked like a madman, sometimes laughing and sometimes crying, he smears crematorium ashes all over his body. He does not bathe regularly, and he ornaments his body with a garland of skulls and bones. Therefore, only in the name is he Shiva or auspicious. Actually, he is the most mad and inauspicious creature. Thus, he is very dear to the created beings in the gross mode of ignorance, and he is their leader. Tasma unmadanathaya nashtu shauchaya durde tattavatmaya sadvi chodite parmeshtina. On the request of Lord Brahma, I handed over my chaste daughter to him, although he is devoid of all cleanliness and his heart is filled with nasty things. And then, okay, so we will come to this verse at a later stage, right? So what has happened here? That Daksha has blasphemed Lord Shiva, not knowing that how opulent he is and what importance he holds. He has given the hand of his daughter Sati, and he says that it was done unwillingly on the request of his father, Lord Brahma. He praises his daughter that his daughter is having eyes like deer cub. But he says that this person is having eyes like what? I think he uses his dog, right? What is the adjective he used? Let me see, first of all.
Monkey, Prabhu?
Monkey, yes. Monkey. So thank you, Prabhu. So he is blaspheming in all possible ways by which one can be blasphemed. And we all know that Lord Shiva is great. He is Vaishnava Anam Yatha Sambhu. He is Supreme Vaishnava. So his greatness can never be even compared to anybody who was sitting there, who were present in that ceremony of Yajna. Shiva is equivalent, or he is said that he is the supreme in terms of the devotee of the Supreme Lord. And it is said that any word which are said, whether it is in praise or whether it is to blaspheme, those words, actually what they do, they are all meant to glorify the Lord or his devotee. And devotee, that too like Shiva. So the words which were spoken by Daksha, who is giving him that power to speak such words? From where are the words coming? From Goddess Saraswati. And how can Goddess Saraswati allow anything bad about such an exalted personality? So let's understand what were the words used, what actually Daksha wanted to say, but actually what it meant. So these are few important things, and Prabhupada is writing in his purport of 10th shloka. Daksha wanted to impress upon the minds of the all greatest sages assembled in that meeting that Shiva, being one of the demigods, had ruined the good reputation of all the demigods by his unmannerly behavior. So in this shloka, he uses the word Yashogna. Yashogno. Yashogno means spoiling the fame. Spoiling the fame. But what is Prabhupada writing about it? For example, he stated that Shiva is Yashogna, which means one who spoils name and fame. So this can also be interpreted to mean that he was so famous that his fame killed all other fame. So Yashogna actually, it is said that there are three meanings of every word. One is a direct meaning, one is indirect meaning, and one is the actual interpretation when we go in depth to understand what is being said. So here, Yashogna, when it is being said, Yashogna, what is happening? In other words, Daksha is trying to say that he has spoiled name and fame. But what is the interpreted meaning? That his fame is so wide that anybody present over there was below his fame. For example, if there's a dark room and you lit a small lamp, what will happen? There will be brightness. The darkness will go away because of the small lamp. But if the sun rays directly come to that room, will you ever recognize that lamp? Nobody will recognize that lamp, right? Because the sunlight is so effulgent or huge that that lamp will have no value. Similarly, what has happened? The word which has been spoken to blaspheme Lord Shiva, in other words, what are they doing? They are praising their indirect praises for Lord Shiva. So Yashogna indicates that his fame was so much that all other who were present there, though they were having fames, but their fame was of very minor value. It hasn't any value in front of Lord Shiva. Similarly, there is a word used, nirpatrapa. Again, Daksha used the word nirpatrapa, which also can be used in two senses. One sense, one who is stunted, nirpraptaha, shameless. And another sense is who is the maintainer of the persons who have no other shelter. Because Lord Shiva is meant to give shelter to everyone and anyone who seeks shelter from Lord Shiva. He gives shelter to all the downtrodden without even thinking. We see that he has given boons without even thinking. And that's why Prabhupada is writing that he is also called Ashutosha, because he is very kind to everyone and he gets quickly satisfied. He is giving mercy to ghosts, evil persons, drunkards, one who is not following any principles, any norms. They are not following any regulations. But even to them, who is giving shelter? It is Lord Shiva. So whosoever approaches, Lord Shiva gives him the shelter. So, in other words, where Daksha meant to say that he is shameless because he hasn't respected me, what Saraswati Mata wanted to say is that he is such a great personality. He is the maintainer of persons who have no shelter. He is so kind. He is so merciful. So that's how these glorified words are coming even from Daksha's mouth. In the next sloka, there's a word came, sadhuvat. sadhuvat, in which Daksha wanted to say that he is pretending to be an honest man. He is pretending to be an honest man. Why is he saying sadhuvat? Because he says that he has accepted my daughter's hand, and that's why he has accepted being a subordinate to me. But why he is sadhuvat? Because he has accepted the hand of his daughter based on the qualities of his daughter Gayatri. No, Sati, who is equal to Gayatri. So that is the humility, and that is his quality, because of which he has accepted the hand of Daksha's daughter. So here, that pretending of being an honest man is converting into a glorification in a way by which he is accepting the hand, seeing the quality of Daksha's daughter. He is honoring, he is respecting, he is honoring the qualities of Daksha's daughter. And by doing so, what he is doing? He has honored Daksha as well. In Shloka 12, there is a word which comes Markata Lochan. Markata Lochan is monkey's eye. The monkey-eyed person has married my fawn-eyed daughter, deer-eyed daughter, deer cub-eyed daughter. But now what Daksha is saying, that he has failed to respect me. So what type of eyes he has? He hasn't even spoken sweet words. But what does Acharya say? That this Markata Lochan is not a blaspheming, and it is said in a sense that Shiva is so merciful that he even grants the desire of people who are like monkeys in nature, who are monkeys like materialistic. So in other words, what this Daksha saying has been interpreted as that I am very sorry that I have not respected a person like Lord Shiva, who even satisfied or grants the desire of people who are materialistic. So that is what is the signification of the word here, Marakata Lochan. Then in 13th shloka, there are a few other words. Lupta Kriyaya. Lupta Kriyaya. One meaning is not observing rules and regulations. But what Acharyas say, that Lupta Kriyaya is indicating that about his position, that he is not meant to perform any rituals. He is not meant to follow any rules and regulations, because he has already gone beyond that. You know, there are some do's and don'ts for all of us. We have yam and niyam, and there are processes which we need to follow. But at one stage, when you become a pure devotee or you become a Goswami, at a higher stage, at a Paramahansa level, all the rules and regulations, they are not, it is not prescribed that these rules and regulations are to be followed by such Paramahansas. Like having prasadam, right? For us, having prasadam is a most important thing. Without offering to Krishna, we should not eat anything. But for Goswamis, for Paramahansas, are they meant to do that? Yes, they can do. And they do it. But it is not meant to be done by them. One live incident happened when His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami and Maharaj and His Holiness Lokanath Goswami Maharaj were traveling by train. And it was their lunch time. And when one brahmachari devotee came and asked His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj about having his lunch, Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj immediately said, "Have you offered the food to God? Have you offered it to Lord or not?" So, and that devotee said, "Yes, Maharaj, I have done that." And then he went to bring that prasadam. And in the meantime, Loknath Goswami Maharaj asked, "Maharaj, do you still offer prasad? Do this?" So why was this question asked? Because at that level, he is not meant to do that, because whatever he touches is already purified. He is so in such a state that he is always in thoughts of Lord. He is always doing that. He is always chanting. He is always glorifying. He is always in thoughts of Lord. So for him, doing these things, these ritualistic things, is not important. Right? So this glorifies even our acharyas, that what is their level. Even at that level, though they are not meant to follow this, but still they, by their example, show that what is to be done. Right? So lupta kriyaya. This indicates that Lord Shiva is at such an exalted position that he is not meant to follow any rules and regulations. Rules and regulations are beyond his limit. Then a word comes, asuchaye. Asuchaye means impure. One meaning comes as impure. But Acharya says that he is cleaner than clean. No one is cleaner than him. Everything, if compared to him, is impure. So he is the most clean. Because when you read Bhagavad Gita and you see the properties of any Vaishnava devotee, there are 26 properties given there, right? And one of them is Soch, cleanliness, right? I'm just not remembering the shloka, but it talks about Socham, cleanliness. So that is a quality of a Vaishnava. And he is what? Vaishnava Nam Yatha Sambhu. He is a supreme Vaishnava. So an adjective like asaucha, what does that signify? That he is purer than anybody else. He is the topmost clean personality. Then another word comes, manine. Manine states here proud. One of the meaning is proud. But Acharya says that here manine is not manine, but it is amanine. He never ever is proud of anything. He is so humble. He is so meek. He is amanine. Then the word comes bhinna setave. Bhinna setave means who is violating all the rules, having broken all rules of civility. That is how Daksha is representing him. But bhinna setave here is being signified as that one who is very, very cautious about breaking any rules. So he is the one who never breaks any rules. First of all the rules are beyond him to be followed. And even if those rules are not to be followed or followed, he is above those. And he never ever breaks any rules. And then one word comes in the same shloka is Shudraye. Shudrayevo. The meaning of Shudrayevo means unto a Shudra. Unto a Shudra. So what Daksha wanted to say here is that he was not deserving to, he was not a deserving candidate to marry my daughter. And despite of that position, what he has done, he has given his daughter's hand to such a person. And then what he says, Shudrayo Vasitam Giram. Means as if he has taught a Sudra about the Vedas. But what Acharyas say, that what Daksha actually wanted to say here is that he is feeling himself as unqualified. He was feeling unqualified, as he was not in a position even to give the hand of his daughter to an eminent personality like Lord Shiva. But he gave her like a Shudra who wants to learn the Vedas. So that is how he is being represented here. In Shloka 14, let's see what are the words there. Atatyunmatta, unmatta vat. There is a word called unmatta vat, like a madman. So, how is the personality of Lord Shiva? He is always in that unmatta form. And what he is unmatta with? With the love of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is always in that state when he is remembering Lord, he is chanting Lord. He is unmatta vat. He is always in the thoughts of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is the glory of Lord Shiva. Unmatta vat. He is always mad with prema of Supreme Lord. Then other word comes Chit Bhashma Krita Snanaha. Chit Bhashma Krita Snanaha. So Chitta means of the funeral pyre, Bhashma with the ashes, Krita Snana, taking bath. So this is also is one of the quality of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or a true Vaishnava. That this is stated by Acharyas, in which they say that the Puranas state that smearing ashes of the body is an activity of exalted Vaishnavas. In Puranas, when they glorify Lord Shiva, they say that he who smears ashes of the body is on his entire body. So he is so merciful that he is carrying them all along. So that is the glorification of Lord. Then there's other word which is coming in next sloka, which is, let me see what is that sloka. Matta Shiva Apadesha. Matta Apa Shiva. The most mad and inauspicious creature is calling as Shiva as Apadesha. But what this Apadesha means? That He is even turning any inauspicious place into an auspicious place. He is the one who is the most auspicious. So that is the glorification of Lord Shiva. And it says, Matto Mata Jana Priyaha. Matto Mata Jana Priyaha. What does this word signify? Just a minute. Let me. Mata means crazy. Mata Jana Priya, very dear to the crazy beings. Because of what? Lord Shiva is said to be the Lord of Tamogunis, right? So because of his Tamoguna, he is being mentioned here as that he is crazy. He is the leader of Tamogunis. But what Acharyas say, that he is the one who mercifully is accepting the most ignorant, and gradually what is doing by accepting those people is elevating them to spiritual consciousness. So he is taking care of such mad people. Matta Janapriya, he is so lovable to such people who are mad. And by accepting them, what he is doing, he is just lifting those people who are not of that caliber or quality, who those don't have that even, what do you call it? They don't have that quality by which they can even move into or upgrade themselves to spiritual consciousness. So this is Lord Shiva, who is so merciful on such crazy people. Then comes the verse 16, in which it says, Nasta Shaucha. We have already spoken that, it is once again mentioned here. Nasta Shauchaya, being devoid of all cleanliness. But what is Acharya saying? That he is the one who is purifying the impures. He purifies the most impure thing. People are, what are they doing? They are drinking. They are not following any rules and regulations. But what is he doing? He is accepting them and he is giving them mercy to progress them into spiritual activities, whatever forms, agoris or whatever. They do different type of sadhanas. But gradually what happens? That their consciousness gets developed. And then again a word is coming, Unmadanathaya. He is the Lord of ghosts. He is the Lord of ghosts. So he is not only giving mercy to human beings. He is also taking care of those who have left their body and are in the form of ghosts. So merciful. And one more meaning which appears here is Unmad. He is taking care of all mad peoples. He is merciful to mad peoples. Unmad Nathaya, Lord of all the mad peoples. And then one word here comes as Dur Hirde. That means heart filled with nasty things. But Acharyas say that this signifies that he is merciful to the most sinful personalities. One who has performed all the sins, even those type of people are given shelter by Lord Shiva. So that is the way he has been glorified by Daksha. So Daksha was thinking in his pride that he is blaspheming Lord Shiva. But by these words, indirectly what Daksha is doing is glorifying Lord Shiva, and that is what Mata Saraswati wanted to happen. Because Mata Saraswati can never ever let any such words come out from mouth of anybody which can blaspheme either the Supreme Lord or a devotee of the Supreme Lord. What to say of Lord Shiva? So he cannot never be blasphemed. In Shloka 17, Maitreya Vacha, Vinindaya Vevam Sa Girisham Pratipam Avasthitam Daksho Athapa Upsprasha Kurda Saptum Prachakrame. Thus, Maitreya continued. Thus, Daksha, seeing Lord Shiva sitting as if against him, washed his hands and mouth and cursed him in the following words. Now see the beautiful thing. So what is Daksha going to do? He is going to curse Lord Shiva, and what he says, I am tu devya jan indropandra adi virbhavaha sabhagam nalabtam devaira devganadhama. The demigods are eligible to share in the oblations of the sacrifice, but Lord Shiva, who is the lowest of all the demigods, should not have a share. What are the oblations done for? And who is the acceptor of the oblations? Who is the acceptor of all the oblations?
Vishnu. Bhoktaram Yagatabatsam. Sarvalokamaheshwaram.
Maheshwaram. It is Lord Vishnu who is meant to accept the oblations of a sacrifice.
Yagnapati.
What is Daksha doing? Instead of cursing him, he is giving a boon. That this sacrifice which is meant for Lord Vishnu, right? It should not be shared by anybody. It is meant for him, and it should always be meant for him. So in other words, what is happening? That he is getting that boon. Prabhupada writes in his purport, he is giving a very unique purport here, and he's saying that because of this curse, Shiva was deprived of his share in the oblations of Vedic sacrifices. It was due to the curse of Daksha. Shri Vishnath Chakravarti Thakur comments in this connection that Lord Shiva was saved from the calamity of taking part with other demigods who were all materialistics. So that was the boon which came around. Lord Shiva is the greatest devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and it is not fitting for him to eat or sit with materialistic persons like the demigods. Thus, the curse of Daksha was indirectly a blessing for Shiva, who would not have to eat or sit with other demigods who were too materialistic. There is a practical example set. There's an example which is Prabhupada is quoting here. There's a practical example set for us by Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, who used to sit on the side of a latrine to chant Hare Krishna. He used to sit in a bathroom and he used to chant there. Many materialistic persons used to come and bother him and disturb him his daily routine of chanting. So to avoid their company, he used to sit by the side of a latrine where materialistic persons would not go because of the filth and obnoxious smell. However, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj was so great that he was accepted as the spiritual master of the great personality as His Divine Grace Om Vishnu Pad Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. The conclusion is that Lord Shiva behaved in his own way to avoid materialistic persons who might disturb him in his prosecution of devotional service. Hare Krishna. So such is the glory of Lord Shiva, and by his example, he is exhibiting that whom should we associate with, how should we behave. We will see that after this, his devotee, this Nandi, he curses, and there is a cross cursing again by Bhrigu Muni. So there is a cursing and then counter cursing, all that happens. in this chapter only. And then in next chapter, we will see that there will be a discussion between Lord Shiva and Sati, where Shiva tries to stop Sati, but later
No,
she...
no. Then Veerabhadra will cut his neck, no? After
that-
the curse.
No, in next coming slokas, we'll see that Nandi cursed Daksha that you will get a face like a goat. And then, so it is all these.
What did Brigumani will curse? What Brigumani will curse?
So Brigumani will also curse, and he will say that he will talk about Brahmanas. He will talk about that the followers of Lord Shiva will be considered as atheist. They will say that they will divert from their philosophy. They will become Mayavadis,
Oh,
addicted to wine, women, and all those things, and flesh. So that's how. So all Mayavadis come into those clause. They will not follow rules and regulative principles.
so the curse has come true, no? The curse is there.
The curse is there. So this sabda, it is very important that we need to understand the word which is spoken in order to address the Vaishnavas or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are always none other than Shabda Brahma, which has a very deep meaning. So there is a direct meaning, there's an indirect meaning, and there's a meaning which reflects the true reflection of personalities like Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma, and so on and so forth. So these words should be actually understood as told or as explained by our acharyas. And hence it is said that the sound vibrations are of prime importance. And then comes the importance of vibration of the mantras which we chant. So every single word which we are speaking, these mantras have a great meaning, and we should all chant seriously, understanding each and every word, listening nicely, and then it will so if we will hear and chant properly, what it is going to give? It is going to make us understand. It will give that intelligent from within, which will make us understand the real essence of our life and make us understand the relationship with God, with the Supreme Personality of God. So this is an importance of such words which are spoken when we are addressing any Vaishnava or any Supreme Personality, like Lord Shiva or Lord Vishnu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So basically, I'll just that these all words which I have referred here are basically explained by
Gauranga Darshan Prabhu.
And
Subodhini.
He has given a very beautiful explanation.
Superb.
Prabhu, you were mentioning that this direct, indirect, and context of what do you call this interpreted meaning. So these three are given by you said Acharya. Is that Prabhupada or Vishnu Chakravarti?
Prabhuji, actually, I have heard in one lecture, it is given in Manu Samhita, I suppose. That is where it is quoted from, that these words are having three meanings.
Lecture by?
Okay, I'll send you that link.
Okay, Prabhu.
It is.
No.
Okay, let me remember that.
Because Gauranga Darshan Prabhu will take only from the proper source. He will not write on his own.
No, Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, I have the Subodhini, but
Yeah, from he only has
Subodhini,
written.
this is in Subodhini, it is not there.
It's there. This is all from Subodhini only.
There was what do you call, brahmachari devotee of ISKCON Bhopal who has spoken about it.
Prabhu, these
This is
words
kind
are
of
on the
person.
Subodhini I saw. In the
Yeah.
same book it's there.
Bhagavad
In
Subodhini,
there it
yes.
is there.
Yeah.
If you see the verse, they written direct meaning and indirect meaning. It's a boon like that. Every word
Okay.
Markada Lochana he has changed there.
Three. Okay,
Very
okay.
superbly written.
Okay, okay. Then,
You
Prabhu,
spoke.
another thing, actually, should we see this all are definitely it's all Lord's plan to for a specific purpose. See, because here we must understand that in all his blaspheming, it is a disguise, and it is actually it's a boon and protecting Lord Shiva. But in the later Lord Shiva, he is also aggrieved of these kind of words by him, and even when he go to speak to Mother Sati, and then he's also saying that what similar things happening there between their conversation in later verses, that your father is no worth of going and doing all this one, you don't go there, all that, and then she also disobeys his name, and then she goes there, then she creates fire and she left the body. And all these are what should we think, Prabhu? Because
It's a leela to teach all of
Because-
us. It's all I
no,
think
even
planned.
if he understood that, if Acharyas could understand, then definitely Lord Shankar should definitely understand what his father-in-law is doing, and then he should be very pleasing, or should be going very peacefully, like okay. But that is not the case when it in the further verses. No. So how should
But
we take it?
actually, I think
That-
Lord
That's
Shiva
why
was totally in
these pastimes
meditative
are
mode.
having
No?
a very,
Yes.
very long connections. It is not
Oh,
only
yeah.
for that particular instance only. It was going to have a very long-lasting effect, right?
Yeah. For example, I can understand, Prabhu, if Sati is not taking, and if her body is not thrown, where will 64 temples will come? So these are all planned.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think Daksha was little envious of Shiva. I can see here that he was envious only of Shiva. That's
But
so big cause.
that's what Acharya is saying. No, he was not in ego. He was really. So we have to.
That it was not blaspheming. It was again
Glorification.
And then Prabhu, actually, my other question is, if you see in Kerala, everybody by the side of Bali Maharaj, not in the side of Vaman Dev, because Vaman Dev is such a cruel person. Only for because of he is a very, very charitable, and he has acquired a lot of name. This Vaman Dev is they don't even say Vaman Dev. This Vamana is very, very cunning, and he did this one, and he stamped on his feet and he put him into patal like that. Until we come to Krishna conscious and read Bhagavatam and give the reading, and then no, this is not like that. Actually,
Supreme
we want
Lord.
to Vaman Dev want to honor him forever. So he put him there in some place, and he became the doorkeeper.
Gatekeeper.
All that completely different perspective is coming when we go here. Also in this episode also, until today we read, I was thinking in a direct meaning only. Direct meaning only. Shiva is a prime demigod, and he is not being. You don't have to give respect to the sons of, even though he is a son-in-law, and then even though he is son-in-law, it is not that he has given something favorable, but because being the prime demigod, yes, even the good qualities of Mother Sati, and he chosen to become like that. So these are all the direct meanings. And then when you start reading the last half an hour of the second meaning, then I'm again confused.
Really, Prabhu.
Ajit Prabhu? Yeah.
Yeah, Prabhu. So that is how it is all framed, right? That you have a direct meaning.
But then why again Veerabhadra went and took his neck out, because Shiva could have told no, that don't go. So these are all to teach us, I think. Krishna has
Yeah.
planned.
What is teaching? The teaching is okay, but you see, we have to be very careful what to take from these pastimes.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. See, as I said, one one of the positive is the age to come Kali. People should have take shelter of Ambiga, Chamundi, these many Durga temples all over India. So she has to manifest. So this bodily parts thrown everywhere.
So
So
basically,
this one,
is very first thing which we have to
Takeaways.
is that a devotee is never out of control, or he never ever reacts, and that is what Lord Shiva does. He was purely calm.
Keep quiet.
He just listened and then he left. Right. He didn't.
yes, not
react.
reacted. Yeah,
So that is one thing that we should have that tolerance.
very good.
And he
Prabhu.
did not get up because he was totally in the meditation, no, even the meditative mood. He was not even knowing that Daksha coming inside and sitting.
So not to disrespect, but because he was in meditation and he was just the thoughts of Lord Sankarshan. So he was just in his meditation, and that's was the only reason that why he didn't greet it. So one is wishing and one is greeting. It is said neither he greeted nor he wished, right? So he was in that mood. So that's why
Jnana Magna.
he was in that meditation.
But Daksha also said that Brahma also, no, he told Brahma also that he didn't tell father. He said, you are the boss of all the other. Like that, he told somebody he used that. You remember? That
Yes.
he even
also mentioned in Subodhini that he is not mentioned. He is not
addressing as father.
Him as his father. So he is also not giving respect to Lord Brahma as his father.
And then again, we have to go for the indirect and what is the context meaning of that? Maybe there is also something disguised inside.
It is His Grace Shyam Sundar Das Prabhu who said.
Oh, Shyam Sundar Das, Prabhupada said.
Oh,
True, you are muted.
no sound.
Are you muted? Are you
No
muted?
sound comes.
No, he's not muted.
I'm not muted.
Sound did not come.
Yeah, okay. Now okay. Now we can hear you.
Internet issues.
Which Shyam Sundar Prabhu?
He's I think from ISKCON Bhopal. He's a devotee, devotee, and he was mentioning that Manu Samhita, or he referred some.
Oh, they are scholars, Prabhu. It's not.
They are scholars. Yeah, they read a lot, and he told that he was remembering, but he couldn't remember. Also, he says that actually there are particular Sanskrit phrases for this. So direct meaning, indirect meaning, and the interpreted meaning.
Okay.
With words, but he didn't told that. But then there are for every word there are three meanings. So, but we cannot understand those things, right?
Prabhuji, do you know that one verse? I think who is that? Radha Gopinath Prabhu or Shamanand Prabhu? He has took one class about one verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. One verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. This verse is completely fitting into Lord Ramchandra, Lord Krishna, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Each word is applicable to three leelas.
Very well.
You know the sloka. Which sloka?
It is Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita?
Bhagavatam.
Bhagavatam, oh.
Yeah, and but if you read the Bhagavatam, we will. I don't think we will understand. I have to dig that lecture. I have to dig out that lecture who spoke, and he's explaining each word. If this is applicable to Lord Ramchandra, because he left the kingdom, went to Vana. See, when I say these two things, immediately you heard this verse. Yeah. See, if I say he left opulences, he went to Vana. This only word I will tell you. Ramchandra definitely went to forest. Krishna left everything, went to a forest, Vrindavan with gopis. The Mahaprabhu left his opulences and took sannyas and he took Vanaprastha.
Jagannath.
So, yeah. So, like this, I'm just saying this one. That verse is amazing verse, Prabhu. Verse I know, definitely I know. I emailed myself to me, so I can take it from my computer.
But the purport doesn't tell. Purport doesn't tell. Prabhupada did not mention.
No. This is some devotee, Chaupati. That's why when you say these are all scholars, this came in my mind.
I didn't say it, but actually there are many things, there are many such things which Prabhupada said, but those either were not recorded or it was confidential also. So
Yeah.
these things are just coming from very few devotees who are either reading these to a greater extent, reading commentaries of different acharyas and bringing it from there, or they have heard from their respective Guru Maharaj. Right?
Yes,
And
Prabhu.
that's how they come.
Prabhu, are you come? Yes, sorry. Are you coming for the yatra, Prabhu? Kartik yatra?
Yeah. Which yatra?
Kartik yatra? Jagannath.
Yeah, I will be. You are coming, Prabhu.
Yes.
Hari Bol.
It's Jagannath Puri.
Hari Bol.
Or Vrindavan.
No, Jagannath Puri, bro. More than 10,000 devotees, Prabhu. This time. You know, actually, I couldn't book Prabhu. Rasamar Prabhu sent me the link in the beginning only. I was so busy of those months. When I asked, no, it's closed already and 400 devotees are in waiting, not possible. I said, Purushottam Prabhu, I have to come. It is your responsibility to do it. No, why you didn't tell me? Then 1 month he spoke to administration. I have to take him. He's so much favorable to our register. Finally, last week, my name is registered.
One seat.
One seat.
Which date to which date? Which date?
Were in meeting, they were on 700 some number.
Yeah.
A few years back also I got this call that they have been approved. Just pay.
I got registration number. We must be there in Jagannath Puri, November 21st.
Yeah.
Correct, no, Prabhu?
For how many days? Till 27th.
It is
8 days, sir. 7 or 8 days, Prabhu. I did not look it.
Prabhu, we are reaching on 15th.
15th, huh?
Yeah, November 15th to November 20th.
November 15th. Sorry, I did not go into that because last week only. Then I said, he said, I will send up list of rooms you book. And I said, I don't want to book. If you ask me to stay in tent or in the street side, I'm okay. But I want to be with the devotees. You ask them to book and I will pay. They said, okay. Then they went to.
So
because
15
what
to
is comfortable? Yeah,
15 to 27.
Yes, 15
No, Prabhu.
to 27, Prabhu. 22nd or 23rd, something like that.
Yeah, that's what. I'm saying the last date, 22nd or like that. Yeah. 15th to 22nd. Yeah.
Oh, Rasamrita Prabhu is arranging this.
No, Prabhu.
No,
It
no.
is a yatra from Radhana Swami Maharaj.
Chopati.
It's
Yeah,
from
Prabhu, there are many for this Middle East region. He's the one. But I forgot to book, and by the time I expressed my desire, it's over. But somehow Chapati devotees in the temple, they made arrangement.
Because they love you so much.
I could see the mail communication. No, Prabhu, it's closed already 600. I cannot do this one like this. You know Vasudev Prabhu, no? Vasudev Prabhu, he only finally said, okay, Rameshwar Prabhu only one seat.
Is asking one question, Prabhuji.
Oh, sorry, Prabhu. Sorry. I'm sorry, Prabhu.
Daksh किसका devotee था? Curious to know because वो humble तो नहीं, proud बहुत था उसमें, भक्ति qualities थी उसमें.
Daksha.
Daksha was himself a very great personality. We should not say like this. Actually, Daksha was a devotee of Lord Vishnu. Right. So, if you read more about him, then you'll come to know that he was a devotee of Lord Vishnu. And there are reasons behind such pastimes. So we should not consider that he was proud or something.
Yes,
because at a later stage, we'll know that what Daksha actually was.
Mm.
The Lord Shiva also loved Daksha only. He loves. So either drama हुआ है.
Lord Shiva loved everybody. Purity. So how can he envy anyone?
In Kerala, they call Maveli. Maveli. And they give respect as a king. He comes everywhere and every year and comes and checks all the houses. They'll make nice prasadam, sweets and all.
माता जी,
Yes.
अंजलि माता जी, उसमें वैष्णव की सारी क्वालिटीज थी, अभी आपको पता चलेगा थोड़े दिन बाद.
Yeah.
और
Prabhu, can I take leave, Prabhu?
Prabhu, this Kartik Mena, I'm coming to Vrindavan, 4th to 10th.
Yes, I know that.
Padmini Mataji also coming.
हाँ.
So Ramesh Prabhu, you cannot come down to Vrindavan. No. Prabhu, day after tomorrow, I got a class, last day of the Kartik Mena in Bhakti Sangha.
Okay.
So I'm not able to take the class on Wednesday. You please take it. I will take it on again on Sunday or Saturday,
Okay,
whichever
bro.
day. And if
Saturday, no.
Padmini
Saturday, come again.
Sunday. So if tomorrow Padmini doesn't take, you have to be ready for tomorrow. I will tell her and ask you and tell you, Prabhu, please. Either tomorrow or Wednesday. Normally it's taken on
Okay.
Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Prabhu.
You
Okay,
finished
no
which
problem.
verse, Prabhu? Which verse you finished, Prabhu, today?
I finished
15.
17.
17.
Oh, I took up till 19.
Oh,
19, huh? Okay.
going very fast. Last week, Ramesh Prabhu did the whole chapter. I said, chapter is over.
So actually, the chapters are like that only, na, Prabhu.
That chapter only names only, bro.
Only names.
Prabhupada did not give any purport only.
Only names. So Prabhu did a wise thing. Finish and come to Daksha.